A lot of times the way I would describe it is, you remember that time you had a really, really bad flu for like 3 days and you felt like you were gonna die and it was the most miserable experience? Imagine that going on for 4 years straight, without ever stopping.
When we first heard the words ALS, you can't accept the reality that your brother has just been given a death sentence. He was basically virtually paralyzed from the neck down. You maintain all of your mental faculties, and nothing else works.
It's debilitating. COPD makes it difficult to get the air out of the lungs, and the lungs are damaged, and so that's what makes it so difficult to breathe. For a man that had such a big personality and loved people and loved talking, I think that for Bernie, having COPD was probably one of the most difficult experiences.
One by one, all 3 of my aunts came down with Alzheimer's, one by one. It just robs a person of all humanity. They just sink into someone who is living, but not really, if you know what I mean.
After a while, I would take her places and she would see people in wheelchairs and she'd say, "That's not gonna be me one day, is it?" And I said, "No, Mom, it's not gonna be you." And sure enough, it was. You feel helpless, that you just can't wave a magic wand and say, "Okay, Mom, you're all better now."
Ultimately, the kind of work we're doing here has the potential to transform healthcare. So at the Board of Governors Regenerative Medicine Institute, we work on a wide range of diseases. The focus really is stem cells and how stem cells can be used in different disorders of the human being. We take cells from the adult body and we drive them back in time to what we call a pluripotent state. And this is a state in which the cells can make any tissue of the human body.
We can make eye cells, liver cells, heart cells, mini intestines, brain cells, anything we want.
There's no limit to the number of cells that one can get. There's no limit to the types of cells you can turn them into. So in a sense, we have complete freedom in the laboratory to use iPS cells to test as many ideas as we can come up with.
And what we want to do is, we want to try 10 drugs, 50 drugs, 100 drugs, and we want to see which one is going to make a difference to this particular person that has Crohn's disease, or this particular person that has ulcerative colitis.
Clive Svensson put together a top-tier team.
Every time I meet more people that are involved with it, I get more excited because not only are they all individually extraordinary people, but combined together, there's no telling what these people are going to discover.
We're doing things now with iPS cells that were unimaginable 5 years ago, 7 years ago. Making brain cells in a dish from patients just wasn't even something you could conceive of.
In the past, they've been using rats or mice to understand disease. Now we can actually use human cells.
They actually had a petri dish, and in it they had grown a complete gut from the esophagus down to the end of the colon.
So now we can have a human gut on a chip that we can look at, examine, and we can actually model things like Crohn's disease.
I remember my aha moment, so to speak, was seeing a beating heart in a petri dish. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
It's the stuff that we only dream about, even a few years ago, and it really feels like the future.
This is something that's in its infancy. However, the very early stages that it's at, we've already seen such tremendous progress.
We're not just following the crowd, we're actually out in front, trying to utilize regenerative medicine technology, trying to utilize stem cells to alleviate some of these horrific medical conditions that still plague humanity.
These are really complex diseases, and there aren't simple answers. But when the payoffs come, I think we will see profound innovation.
Obviously, I wish that the RMI could have helped my brother. But these things take time, and what gives hope to somebody like me is that there is a place that's actually trying to get to the root of diseases like not just ALS, but Parkinson's and all these other diseases. So others at some point in the future won't have to go through what my brother and my family went through.